that. Alright, so a problem that I want to address is that of disability discrimination is an ongoing situation in the world, and how it hinders people to have a relationship with God and from pursuing God's purpose of having a healthy relationship. So I just want to tell you guys that disability, especially towards deaf people, disability discrimination is needs some serious fixing, and that we should try to do our best possible to have a relationship with them to enhance God's purpose by having a healthy community. So before I dig in, I know that we can't, change the policy, we can't change the law, we can't force everybody to love every single disabled people. But I know that we have the power of the Holy Spirit, that we should have relationship with people, that as it is God's calling to serve them, and that could change their lives significantly. So let me just bring up a surprising problem that we have in this world. And so driving, it's a privilege, not a right. And so to get a license, it's to have the skills to pass the test, and to have some rules that you agree on, and then you get a license, right? So disability people can get their license, but it's not so simple. So now disability people are, yes, allowed to drive, but so some people in America always face problems like these things. Like they face, in restaurants and other places, in schools and houses and jobs. And so driving is one of them. And with that said, some countries doesn't even let deaf people to drive. So everyone needs a license. We all know this. Everyone needs a license to go to work, to go to their families, to go to school, and even to church. So without a license, you basically have no job and unlikely to reach your destination and to achieve your goals. So as a deaf person, I know, even I was blessed with a cochlear implants, I still face barriers in my life. And I can't imagine a fully deaf person that has faced the same circumstance that I have faced, and I barely got out. So, and I also understand how difficult it is to, change people's hearts, to have an understanding and respect towards deaf people or disabled people, because some people are bound to be like that. So, next point is that disability discrimination is a common social problem among the world, and how the problem exists because we fail to realize that we are all, child of God, and we are all equal, and that we should love each other equally. And there's a solution, and that solution has already been mentioned. But the solution is that we should base our perspective in a godly perspective, and that will encourage us to have a relationship with them, and that results a healthy community. So let's dig a little deeper. Disability discrimination is a common problem with harm effect. So most deaf people want or need a job. So in 2014, yes, I know this was 5 years ago, but this year has been only slightly better. But in 2014, about 52% of deaf people were unemployed. And so that leaves 48%, employed. So that's less than half of the deaf community that was able to work. In comparison, only 22% of hearing people were unemployed. And I know the factors are different because deaf people get disability income, they get lazy, but even with that, they have a lot of fear to go out in the world because of the discrimination happening around the world. So discrimination towards and my next point is that discrimination towards people can cause them to feel disvalued, and this can lead to many factors, but one of the common thing is depression. And according to mental health, and deaf adults found more mental health problems among hard of hearing and deaf adults in the general population. Studies shows further demonstration that the greater hearing loss, the more likely the mental health problems that you may experience. So this brings to my second point. Hearing impaired, there was this hearing impaired woman who wrote down the note to order some food. She went through the drive-thru, Obviously, she can't stop the speaker. She went to the window. She gave the note to the employer. The employer read the note, gave back the note, shut the window, says no to her. You cannot order at the window with a note. You have to order at the speaker. And she explained very clearly. After frustration, after some arguments, she parked the car, went into Taco Bell, tried to order the same way, gave a note. She typed on the phone, I'm deaf, and they still wouldn't serve her. So she ended up suing Taco Bell and got a lot of money for that. So there are countries, my next point is that there are countries that deaf people can't drive, which are the Arab region, Asia, Eastern Europe, Mexico, Central America, South America, and Africa. So this brings to my final point. The solution to the problem of discrimination is to understand that God values relationships and He wants us to love everyone equally, despite the differences. Mark 12:31 says, "You shall love your neighborhoods as yourself. This is no greater commandment than these." So this is a commandment from God, and so my conclusion is that discrimination is an ongoing issue. Even there's an ADA law out there, and that ADA law is, when an employee can't treat an employee that has disability less favorably than other employees that doesn't have disability. And it's hard to change the policy, I understand that, but as Christians, we can do as God calls us to do, and is to love people so they can feel valued and encouraged to achieve their goals. So, and reflecting Christ is the most important role that we could ever have, as they will see that light and potentially pursue Him. As, for example, if you were an employee at Taco Bell and you saw this woman coming in, you could have changed that woman significantly, like changed that woman's lives. And, you could say like, hey, yeah, God bless you, and all this, and this could have changed the whole situation. But, so, yeah, that's it. All right, yes.